It's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast for the last team sheet tantrum of the season. Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, or Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa, if you are of the pedantic nature. Paddy, I didn't even wear a shirt tonight. I toyed with the idea of coming to this in fancy dress. Just because I've seen some people, I've seen two what was termed as two Champions League bananas and Bret Hart walking around the place. I saw a video of that, trying to figure out what have they all got to do with each other. But I saw that Max and Simon are on the train. Max went dressed as Simon and Simon went dressed as Max, which I thought was very was very original there as well. But it's going to be an amazing day for those away fans that are going to be in Sellers Park today. And I think there's going to be an interesting team out as well, judging by some of the messages I've received about who has travelled, who hasn't travelled. And it looks like a certain Mr. There might be two Emerys in the dugout this evening, Paddy, it seems. There might be two Emerys. Yeah, well, Leander Emery has travelled with the squad today, so maybe he gets named on the bench.
Good stuff. It's good. It's, you know what? Regardless of whether he's named on the bench or not, it's a good experience for him to be there today. I completely lost track of time. That's why I was late.
I was asleep, Paddy.
Well, I went back through every game for our awards tonight, so that's what I was doing for the last 2 hours. So those of you who don't know, we're going to do our end of season awards this evening. So I was busily trying to go back so that there would be no recency bias in what I picked tonight. But yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, I passed out. I spent nearly 2.5, maybe 3 hours in the playground today with two energetic kids, with the sun beating down. So I decided to turn it in when they turned it in for a while, and that's why I was nearly late. I actually woke up and I went, "Oh shite, I'm after missing the team sheet tantrum." Paddy didn't even ring me, and then I looked down at my phone, and it was 14:44 on my phone. And I went, "Oh great, didn't miss it. That's super stuff, brilliant." But like, as I say, it's just so good not to have any impetus on today, really, as such, other than, as I said, today being, for me, today is Operation Ollie and Ollie Watkins to try and get his 20th goal, and whether he does or not is interesting, because, Paddy, I have heard that today that Bailey hasn't travelled, and neither has Emmy Martinez travelled to London today. But I suppose I don't know how true that is. Let's just see when the teams come out. But apart from that, everybody else is there. And yes, there's something else I wanted to start with as well. Just to mention as well that it seems as well today that at the age of 73, Ian Chico Hamilton has passed away, a former Aston Villa player. 200 odd games and 40 goals for Villa as well, passed away today, it seems as well. So condolences to his family, and another Holt Ender in the sky.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. That's sad news for the day that's in it, which was supposed to be a bit of a celebration, and yeah, God rest him.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Paddy, if it is the case that the likes of Bailey and those haven't travelled today, maybe you might get to see, Bailey Martinez haven't travelled today, maybe you might get to see Joe Gauchi in goals. But who do you play in that right side of midfield then, if that's the case? Would you imagine that maybe it's just primed for somebody like Kennyman to come in there and play that position?
Who knows what he could do? And as you correctly say, it is rumoured that they haven't travelled. We don't know for sure that they haven't travelled just yet, but we'll know in 3 or 4 minutes. I really could not care less who plays it. It's like it feels like I'm building up to a testimonial here, and I forgot what that feels like after 5 years of just looking over our shoulder. I know there was a few games where we finished mid-table, where we weren't looking over our shoulder or looking above us. So it's just such a blessing to be sitting on the couch watching all games with hurling on in the background, thinking, there's nothing to worry about today, and nearly missing the team sheet tantrum. It's brilliant. But to answer your question, throw Kellyman in there if that's the case. He's probably the most natural to play off that side. We're missing players on the left as well, as we said, Ramsey, Zaniolo, Rogers. So it'll be an interesting team sheet, whatever he decides to do. And look, if Joe Gauci starts, I for one will be quite happy to see how he does.
Yeah, and it's definitely like there's going to be a lot of that today, as we mentioned in the preview last night. Like, I really want to see Ken Kessler-Hayden for a decent amount of time today. I want to see him for a decent amount of time today. I want to see him for over 20 minutes, because I just think, like as I said before, that right sided of defense, we need to shit or get off the pot now with Konza there. Either he's going to be right back going forward, or he comes back in centre half again. I'm not too certain like this. Like, we're going to need to buy new fullbacks, either this season or next. Just because of the age profile of our fullbacks, I think we need a new right back anyway if Konza's coming back into the centre. But for me, if Ken Kessler-Hayden can do it, let's see if he can do it. If he can't do it, well then, there's 100% profit there somewhere. And that's what I mean. That's what I meant last night by business decisions, that might have to be made in the off season here. We all want to see all our young players come up and play for the club and be big club legends. And I would love to see Ken Kessler-Hayden. Do not get me wrong. That's why I want to see him here, is to see him progress at the club. But if the club feel that they need a different option there right back, you would have to think that the runway or the time frame for young players to get a chance at Aston Villa or middle clubs like this, I suppose, as well. And that's right with Kostin Nedeljkovic coming in as well. But if the runway for younger players to stake their claim within the first team gets lower and lower and lower, if the FFP is the situation, and you have to sell these players for this magical 100% profit stuff that we hear as well. So I'm not saying that I want Ken Kessler-Hayden gone. I want to see more of him, is what I'm saying here, because I fear that if we don't, that they would cash in him in the summer. And there's a lot of work being put into these young kids in the background, and we want to give them time to progress with Aston Villa. But I think that time frame is going to lessen and lessen as the years go on now with FFP and all that kind of jazz.
It'd be interesting to see what he does with Ken Kessler-Hayden. He obviously has trusted him to put him in there, mainly due to the fact that he didn't have any options at the time. So it'll be interesting to see, does he rate him and where he fits into the plans. And the team is out, Neil.
The team is out. You're right. My potato-powered internet here is not.
No Joe Gauci. He's on the bench.
No Joe Gauci in goals. Robin Wilson just start though.
And Emery on the bench as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I knew. So one part of my my spies were right with regards to who has travelled and who hasn't travelled. But it's Olsen in goals. Konza, Diego Carlos, Longley, and Digne. Diaby, Chambers, Douglas Luiz, and McGinn, and Duran and Watkins up top, with a substitutes bench of Joe Gauci, Mr. Emery, Pau Torres, Ken Kessler-Hayden, Timur Grunham, Monroe, Kellyman, and Caden Young makes the bench as well. Interesting side. I'm really interested as to why he feels he needs to play Chambers in there and not young Tim, given that we know that Callum Chambers will likely not be at the club next season. So that to me is a real interest / head scratcher for me. Maybe it's a situation.
I think because he played so well when he came on the last day, I think this is just a reward for him for sticking around the team. He probably had options to go in January and didn't go. And look, I believe regardless of what happens, this could be his last game for the club. So why not put him in there? He has been a decent servant when we need him. Yes, I know he's had a shit show of games back in previous seasons, but he has been a decent servant for us. So I think this is a reward for him for how well he played the other night and how well he put himself about, and a chance to say goodbye to the fans. That's the way I see it today.
Business decisions, Paddy, going around in my mind. So as well, business decisions once again. Like,
well, he's in the shop window now too. Yeah.
Who's in the shop window? Is Chambers not out of contract at the end of the season?
No, he's a year left, I think.
Either way, you're not getting any more than like 2 million for him. You know,
Well,
to me, I just think that look, when is young Tim ever going like again? My
I totally
point
get that too.
stands.
I totally get it. I
Young
totally
player. When are we going to see the young players to know if they're good enough at any stage?
Yeah.
You know, I wish Callum Chambers is going to have a great game. As say this is just proving what I didn't want to see today with regards to our young players all being on the bench here. But then again, I could be reading way too much into this, and I most likely am, to be honest with you, given the
we've seen a good bit of
bench.
over the last few weeks as well. He has had opportunities, and in my opinion, he hasn't fully taken those chances that he got. He's played okay, but he certainly hasn't set the world on fire, and he missed a lot of tackles when he was on the pitch, I thought. And look, he'll probably get on in the second half, but I just believe that this is a thank you to Callum Chambers, and he did well the other night, and you couldn't fault him for what he did. But look, if this is the only thing we're going to complain about today,
oh yeah,
it's not such a bad thing. And look at that bench. Regardless, you take Pau Torres off that. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There's 8. We've only named 8 subs as well for the lad. This is as Emery a subs bench as you'll find. 2 goalkeepers, 8 subs, like yeah, which is grand. You know, I don't have an issue because a lot of players have been rested and stuff as well. So
you can be sure that Tim will come on for Chambers. You can be sure that Kellyman will get a run. I'd like to see Finlay Monroe get a run. I'd like to see Kane Kessler-Hayden get a run, and chances are that those 5 listed at the bottom, Kessler-Hayden, Eric Boonham, Monroe, Kellyman and Young, are the guys that are going to be rewarded as well, and they will be barring an injury in defence where we have to put Pau Torres in there. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Look, I completely understand that. And like I'd say that like of the players that are on the bench there, you know, you're probably going to see Kessler-Hayden, Eric Boonham, Monroe, Kellyman, Young all on for at some stage during the case. Like there's your 5 subs probably, barring that we don't get an injury at centre half. So I can completely understand it as well. Look, I can completely understand why Chambers is in there. My own personal feeling is that, like, you know, this is an opportunity to play young Tim in there, and the rest of the team is fine. You know, that's exactly what I was thinking in that instance there. Maybe Kessler-Hayden at right back, but look, hey, it's grand. It's a meaningless game for us, really. It's just it's trying to finish out the season. I suppose one of the big things, somebody messaged me today as well to say that they didn't want to see back-to-back defeats for the first time this season, or sorry, back-to-back defeats to end the season, should I say. And I think that's probably in Unai Emery's mind as well. You know, getting over that 71-point mark is big for the club too. You know, just all these little mental kind of milestones as well that you can turn around to and you can point to in times of difficulty, you know, to your team. That, hey, listen, even when it didn't matter, we were professional enough. We didn't take our foot off the pedal here, and we were able to go back. We were able to change things around, and we didn't lose that last game of the season because of X, Y, and Z. You know, and all these players will have all these kind of accelerator bonuses and stuff like that in our contracts, I suppose, with regards to personal milestones as well. So hopefully they hit them, and hopefully Watkins hits his personal milestone too.
That'd be nice. By the way, it's not back-to-back defeats. We did draw with Liverpool. We didn't lose.
Oh no, so that's why I stopped myself. Yeah, that's why I stopped myself. You know, not to end the season on a defeat is what I meant. Yeah.
I know somebody mentioned in the comment there that the last thing he wants to do is go out and lose 6-0 today, and we spoke about this in the preview. You're always remembered for your last game, and if we lose 6-0 today, it'll be heading into our awards for worst game of the season tonight at 9:30. But look, I don't envisage that's going to be the case. We've gone strong at the back. The back 4 is, and look, Longley has been rewarded as well with a start. He's been a great servant since he came in on loan, so I'm delighted for him too. But you could change it up a little bit, but like that's as strong as we're going to expect the back 4 to be today. And yeah, I fully expect us to go and give Crystal Palace a game before we start emptying that bench if needs be.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And look, as I say, it's I'm really looking forward to watching this game today, and I'm going to have that match on one screen. I'm going to have the hurling on the other screen over here in Ireland, and I'm going to be as happy as a pig in shite today because the sun is beaming out of the sky, and we don't have anything really to worry about other than hopefully nobody gets injured today, and everybody can go in and enjoy their summer. Because it's a great feeling being in the Champions League, Paddy, and that wonderful song "Show Me the Way to Barcelona." That's all over social media today. I think that's going to be a personal favorite of mine over the course of the next 6 months because Jesus, we deserve to be able to puff our chests out now and celebrate the fact that we're in Champions League. And hopefully this team will go out there with the. I know that this group of players that are playing here today will go out there with the swagger of a team that have reached Champions League based on their merit and what they've done this season. They should be able to go out there and give Palace a good game of it today, regardless of who's on the field. And as I say, this team is very, very capable of going out and winning today. So fair play to them, and I hope they do that as well. Do you think Watkins gets his 20th goal today, or do you think he's going to join the list of 19 goal strikers?
Part of me says I couldn't give a shiny shite if he does or not, because it will spur him on next season to go and do it, and that's my logic behind that. But on a personal level, I'd love to see him do it because he has been absolutely phenomenal all season. Like everyone else, there was a few downs in there. There was a few MIAs in some games, but other than that, I'd say 90% of the time he's been absolutely phenomenal on the pitch. He's improved immensely as a player. He's improved immensely as a man, from what I can see. And we have him on a contract. So if he finishes on 19 this season, go and get 20 next season should be his remit come the middle of August.
I got 20 this year, and he was told go and get 25 next year.
Well, that's you. Maybe he will get 25. And look, when you add up he has a good few European and Cup goals as well, so he is over 20 goals for the season. So that was probably true. His remit at the start, but 20 Premier League goals would be nice.
Palace team is in obviously as well, so we have Henderson in goals, Munoz at right back, Italian Klein at left back, Anderson and Gray, probably Munoz at right wing back, Klein, Anderson, and Gray as probably the three in the middle, and Mitchell at right back, or at left back, should I say. Wharton and Richards will hold down the middle of midfield, and then Elise and Eze will play beside or behind Mateta up front. Nothing really there that stands out to me as unexpected. Everything there is pretty much expected, and on the bench they have Matthews, Tompkins, Ward, Lerma, Schlupp, Ozoa, Rydwald, Jordan Ayew, and Odson Edward on the bench as well. So they're pretty much full strength today, which we expected them to be as well. So it looks like to me 3 at the back, and I'll say it again as I say it all the time, and it's come back to bite me more so than nothing, but I'm going to be right at some stage. Ollie Watkins likes playing against 3 at the back. There, I've just said it. I've either jinxed him, or I'm going to be the reason that he gets the 20th goal, because I said the exact same thing against Brighton and probably Brentford. And while Ollie Watkins did get goals against Brentford, we drew that game 3-3. And he needed to come up with a goal at the death to draw that one. But so I have been proven right with that one in the past. But as I said today, I want him to get his 20th goal. So hopefully he will be good against the back three again today as well.
And that's probably the defense is probably their weakness. I don't rate Anderson. Klein probably isn't a centre half. And obviously, Gahey is a decent player, so I would imagine that he will probably peel off further left and give Klein as much as a run at as he would be targeting the other side. So we'll wait and see how that pans out. But this game will be won, lost, or drawn based on what we do with the front three. They've been absolutely on fire since the new manager come in, and it's testament to decent coaches what a team can do when a decent manager comes in to switch things up and just give people the wherewithal and the belief to go and do what they're capable of doing. And they've been excellent since the new manager come in. And they're if he'd have come in a little bit earlier, they may have been fighting for those Conference League places at this stage. But so they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next year, I would imagine. Decent side, playing decent football. but probably a few players short of a European side. And who's to say they won't pick up a few in the summer to spur them on? But yeah, it's gonna be tough for us today. Not particularly worried about the scoreline or how it ends up. The most important thing today is that all of those travelling fans who have been absolutely immense, home and away, all over Europe, did us proud. Go and have a celebration today and do yourselves proud again and get yourselves home safely and enjoy the party.
Excellent. I 100% agree with that. Couple of just want to say thanks a million to Nigel Brooks. Nigel says, thanks for all your great work this year, boys. One of the highlights was meeting you guys in Limerick with legend Paul McGrath. Thanks so much, Nigel, for that. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, that was definitely a highlight for me as well this year, getting to meet the great man himself in Limerick. And I'm going to get to meet him again in another couple of weeks' time in Limerick again, because he's on his way back. And this time I'll be in the crowd and won't be on the stage, so I'll be able to partake a bit more in the moment, I suppose, and listen to him. Yeah, and to take in more of what he's saying. It won't be all a big blur like it was the last time. And this time we won't have a projector shining directly in his face as well. So that's going to be pretty cool as well. Sniffrat, thank you so much as well. Cheers, lads. Always appreciate the pods. You're more than welcome. And there isn't anywhere else. There is one other place we prefer to be other than doing this and be here at the moment, and that's in Sellers Park. But alas, that isn't the case at the minute. And for those of you who don't know, we will be back with a post-match pod. Oh yeah, Ronan Ward. We aren't in
9:30 tonight. 9:30 tonight. We'll dress fancy.
We'll dress very fancy at 9:30 tonight, because that's what I was getting on to there, is that we will be doing a post-match podcast after this as well, just to discuss the game. And then at 9:30 tonight, Irish time, so that's 21:30 if you have the 24-hour clock. We will be doing we will be hosting the Emery's, which is the For the Love of Paul McGrath post end of season awards ceremony tonight, and we'll be doing that tonight at 9:30. So come and join us, and that'll draw a line under the season, I suppose, because Paddy's going on holidays, and I can't wait to get stuck into scouting series of players now at a Champions League level. So next week we'll be hot and heavy on the actual the scouting stuff and the transfers, and there's no break happening here. But join us at 9:30 tonight, because at 9:30 tonight as well, guys. If any of you guys are coming on, and the reason I mention this is because Nigel and Sniffrat was so good to give us donations there. Those 2 donations will be going to our Aston Villa Foundation fund that we've started on GoFundMe. And tonight, any donations that come in during or any advertising revenue or anything like that we get, anything at all, it's raised for our Emery Awards tonight. We'll be going to that as well. And also, we have a prize for anybody who does donate and Just Giving, even if it's, not Just Giving, Jesus, GoFundMe. Tonight, for anybody who does donate there, whether it's £2, whether it's £2,000, whatever it is, you will be put into a draw to win a Cadbury's hamper from the wonderful Michael Huggins. I meant to put a picture of it up on the screen here, but we'll show it tonight. But it's a pretty cool hamper. It's worth about 50 quid or something like that. But yeah, if anybody donates to our GoFundMe page at all, until the end of our podcast tonight at 9:30, then we will be putting a draw for that, and we will send that out to you guys as well.
It's tough.
So, Paddy, anything else? Oh, actually, I was too busy talking and I couldn't read Ty's thing that you had up there. Is you 56 today, Ty? Is Ty 56?
56 today. No greater time to be a Villa fan since 1981-82. Well, it says 56 years being a Villa fan. He could be a little bit older. He may not have made his decision by the time he was born. But he said thanks for the work we do every week as well. But thank you so much to everybody who comes in here week in, week out, and shares these ups and downs with us. And it's truly been a roller coaster. But what a roller coaster it's been this year, and I think next year is going to be even better. So bring it on. That's what I say.
Fingers crossed. Absolutely. Give me 2 seconds here, because I'll be murdered if I don't do this. Paddy, you just fill there, because as always, guys, I want to make sure this. I know it's the last game of the season, and this seems like I'm putting lipstick on a pig here, but as you guys know, that we normally throw you directly into Dale's stream for Statos watch-alongs. But for some reason, it hasn't been happening lately. Now, I just want to do a little bit of tinkering around here to use this as a guinea pig moment, if that's okay. If you guys don't mind, if you guys just don't mind, I want to make sure that that this is all set up correctly, because, as I say, Dale is a great supporter of our podcast, as are we a great supporter of his. So it's only fair that we try and get this all set up correctly. So I can see here that you guys are set to be thrown directly in after our credits. You will be there and you'll be set up to wait for Dales to come on. So if you guys want to go and get a beverage, or want to go and get something to eat, or something, if you want to hang out watching, if you've got the weather that we have here, or even if you just want to close the eyes and go for a quick sleep, I think Dale is on at around 3:45. But we will throw you directly into his stream there, and you guys can just leave your devices on and wait or whatever for him to come on. But thank you so much to everybody for watching today. Really appreciate it. And thanks so much. There was like 800 people in here at one stage, which is absolutely bonkers as always. But thanks so much for all the time you give us again. And we will be back for the Final Whistle podcast as well. It's going to be a very relaxing one, I would imagine. I'm not too worried about the score. I just really want this to be operationality and for him to get his 20 goals. And then we will see you again after that then for 9:30 too. That it, Paddy? Anything else we need to go through?
Nothing else to add. We'll have plenty of chats throughout the day today. So enjoy the game. Put your feet up. Relax for the first time, as I said, since we beat Brighton on the final day of the season to give Newcastle the title, which they tend to forget about when they tell us that we hate them. But this is going to be a relaxing day for me, and I'm looking forward to it. So put the feet up, relax, and enjoy.
See you later, everybody. All that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.